Ladies and gentlemen, the PlayStation BRAHcast is live. Boy. What's going on, guys? We're back. We are back for our PlayStation E3 prediction show, kinda, because Sony already let the cat out of the bag, ruining my plans. For once, I'm a little upset with Sony. And it hurts,
It's okay. They'll make it up to you.
Okay, they better. I'm still waiting for my invite to the press conference, by the way. Which,
No, they'll make it up to you by making sure you know less about Death Stranding.
Yeah. Hey man, here's the game.
Yeah, they have that. Don't call us, we'll call you mentality.
Yeah. What did Mark Cerny say at the PSX press conference about? You play the game for like 5 hours and you start to understand it.
Yeah,
that's what he said. Yeah.
Oh no.
But you know what? It was the same thing.
Right.
It was the same thing. Like Metal Gear, right? Most people didn't really get the game in the beginning, and some things happened throughout the game you just quite couldn't understand. So, yeah.
I mean, my favorite movies, I love them because it takes 6 movies before I understand the whole plot.
Exactly.
I need more eggs breaking over a hot skillet visual metaphors before I get what I'm doing.
You're sitting there watching Saw 7. Oh,
now that's why it's called Saw.
Yeah, I get it now. Well, guys, thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate it. It's been about a month. Well, actually, almost 2 months since I've done on the show.
Yeah.
Life's been busy. We're having a baby in October. That's been a big announcement. And then we have officially bought a house, and we are in the process of moving, and packing all the shit has been a bigger job than I ever thought it would be.
Congrats again, man.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Round of applause.
A lot of changes coming in my life. So, and of course, some awesome games have come out, like God of War. Have y'all played that one yet?
Oh yeah.
Got to spend some time in it.
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
It's a really good indie game. I hope you guys all try it out. It's pretty damn special.
Balrog from Street Fighter made it.
I'll wait from the Switch version.
I'm pretty sure that would melt the Switch. Yeah. Turn your Switch on, download the game.
Well,
boom. Oh.
It's almost melting my PS4 Pro. So yeah.
Hey man, I've been wearing my headset because the music's awesome, but also my fans like. We're ready for liftoff.
All those T-flops at work.
Man, it's pushing it.
Come on, man! Don't act like you know what a teraflop is. None of us in this room know what it is. There's like 16 of them.
I know, right?
That's happened a bunch of times. Like I'm playing God of War, and I'm sitting there playing for 20 minutes or so. My wife will be like, "Hey, Paul, your PlayStation, it's buzzing. You should turn it on." I take off my headphones, and it's like a jet taking off.
And we've had this since 2013. That's definitely its death knell.
Yeah, for sure.
Do any of y'all have the standard PS4?
I still have mine from launch, and then I picked up a Pro as well because we upgraded our TV, and I was like, I am doing myself a disservice.
Have any of you guys tried God of War on the standard?
Yeah.
How's it look?
How
about that?
I mean, it plays great. Like, you're not going to lose anything in terms of again, kind of like how I said about the teraflops. I'm also one of those guys that if you tell me it's at checkerboarded or straight 4K or 720, I'm going to be like, yeah, sure, I believe you.
Yeah.
But I'm not a major tech head in that regard. But I mean, judging on it on a small, I'm playing it on a 27-inch 720p TV if I'm upstairs. So, but at the same time though, even then I'm like, this is gorgeous.
Yeah.
It is the prettiest 720p I've ever seen. But then you go down on a 4K display and you're like, oh, the future is now.
Exactly. Well, they've been advertising ever since they announced the game. It's been shown running on the Slim. So. And they kind of wanted to, and they kind of announced that. I don't know if it was Sean Layden or Yoshida, but basically they wanted to showcase the fact that if you still had the Slim or the OG PlayStation, you wouldn't be missing out. You know, there's something for everybody there. So
there was some dude that came at me on Twitter. He was like, dude, I got him on the Slim. They look like crap and play like crap. I was like,
my
man,
God.
are you sure? I played Horizon on the Slim and it ran pretty damn smooth.
It's one of those.
He's got
guys.
the one PS4 that runs with component outputs, and you're like, how did you even do this?
Yeah. Somebody sold him a PlayStation with Xbox internals.
Yeah. Oh man.
The low blows are already starting.
Jay does not pull any punches.
Hey, it's entertainment. People tend to love it. So. Hey,
but you know, everyone, welcome to the BRAHcast. You know who I am, the PlayStation Brawl, the big boss of the PlayStationBrawls.com. And join me today, as always, is my main man, Jaydub.
Boy. Hey, everybody. It's your boy, Jaydub, a.k.a. Kratos, the god of PlayStation and all things gaming. We are here again with the BRAHcast.
Been a while, like I said earlier. And I apologize. But
don't let it happen again. Yeah. Don't let it happen again.
Whoa. Okay, you can treat me. you can teach me a lesson at E3.
There you go. Man, I can't wait, by the way.
Yeah, I know, man.
Yeah.
The hype is just too much. I'm overwhelmed. But tonight we have two special guests. Not one, but two.
2 for 1.
Yeah.
Not 3.
First up, we got Paul Hunter of Best Buy Canada. Paul, are you there?
Yo. Hey, everyone.
Yeah, tell us about yourself, brother.
Sure. So I think I'm the oldest of everyone here, which is
really?
Yeah, I think so, man. I'm 38. I think I'm the oldest of you.
Oh my God!
It's my first console was actually the Pong. Can you believe that? The Pong. Seriously, with the paddles.
Wait, with the paddles or like the little like toony nipples?
Like the 2D nipple things that you connect directly to your TV.
Okay,
wow.
so
I feel old, man.
So to an extent, I'm gonna like youth you, but also like age you to an extent as well. So I too had a Pong, even though I'm coming in at the tender age of the triple tens here at 30. But the Pong that I had, I actually got from my grandma, but it was the standalone device that hooked into the TV or whatever. But it was the all-in-one. So it was just your Pong console with the 2 knobs just attached to it. So there was no like extraneous controllers or anything like that. You just plugged in a box. And if I recall correctly, it still works, and it's sitting around in this room I'm in.
Yeah, I think I had the same thing then. That's mine plugged. Okay, yeah, mine plugged directly in, and there was just like 2 little knobby things that you would. And that's it. And that's.
And they were attached to it. You actually had to sit close to somebody.
And it was a console.
It's very, very not good for me.
It was a whole console.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been doing the games media stuff for about 10 years now. I had first I launched my own website, nextgenplayer.com. Don't go to it. I haven't updated that website in like
since last year.
Yeah, and I did like 2 articles last year. That's it. But yeah, so I work for Best Buy now. So Best Buy, they picked me up and they said, hey, do exactly what you're doing on your blog, but do it on our website and we'll hire you. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So they don't care if you still work on your old website though. That's kind of cool. They don't just,
they don't care at all.
Oh
yeah, I can still write on my own website. It's just the thing is that it's a paid position at Best Buy. So if I have a choice of writing for them or writing for my personal blog, of course it makes sense. I'm going to write for them. So yeah, it's been about 10 years now with Best Buy. So
dang, man.
And everyone always says, they're like, Best Buy has a blog? Nobody knows.
I had no clue.
Best Buy reviews games.
Yeah.
We actually go to E3. It's awesome.
Hey, that's a funny story. I went to E3 in 2010 with PlayStation Lifestyle, and I was behind the scenes of the Sony booth, and they made me wait because a Best Buy representative had to play a game. I'm like, really?
What?
Yeah,
that would have been me, Dad.
It was like Heavy Rain or something. I'm like, okay.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm the guy that goes down.
Yeah. It was the because remember Heavy Rain had move controls.
That's awesome. I'm so happy.
Yeah, remember Heavy Rain had the move controls.
Bruh. Hey, bruh.
What's
just
up?
wait your turn, okay, man?
I know.
Just wait your turn.
It was cool because I got to wait beside Steven Seagal.
Oh, wow.
I got no clue what he was doing at the Sony booth or why he was at E3, but Steven Seagal was there.
Oh man,
Wow.
that is a good story.
I was just like, whoa, it's Steven Seagal.
He was there to motion capture, not for any specific game. He just didn't have anything else to do and was in town.
He did Deacon's Run in Days Gone, so I've heard. Have you guys heard about that little outcry?
No.
People are like, Deacon can't run. He runs funny in Days Gone. I'm like,
Oh,
my God.
yeah. The whole
Okay, I'm sorry.
thing.
Deacon St. John, let me clarify. Yeah. People were watching that alpha gameplay and be like, oh, he can't run right. He runs funny.
Well, and then you know what? They get
Come on,
mad.
guys.
They really get mad at you when you compare the running mechanics on that to another game that's about to come out in a couple of days. So let's not talk about animations, please.
Yeah, I know what game you're talking.
Dude, walk like robots, and yet nobody wants to say anything about that.
Did you guys see the animated GIFs that people made too? Like they put his head on a chicken.
Yeah, saw that.
Did you see that?
Saw that.
Wait,
saw
a Deacon or
They put Deacon's
other
head.
game?
They
Yeah.
put Deacon's head on a cartoon chicken,
Yeah,
and they made some animated GIFs.
I am sending an email to somebody.
I will admit though, I mean, I watched that 1 hour, and I will admit that he has a sprint that looks kind of funny, and he's got a walk that looks normal, and he's got a jog that looks normal. So the sprinting, sure, he kind of flails his arms a little bit and kicks his legs out a little bit, but I mean, come on, it's alpha.
Ben Studio's probably sitting there right now at their desk going, why are people bitching about the run animation? Well, I don't know. They look at this stuff up. They research this and get feedback. So I'm sure someone's sitting there going, we got to fix the run animation.
So there was a story that came out with Quantic Dream just, ahead of Detroit coming out, where they were doing like some alpha footage, or they were showing like an early pre-build or something like that. And Mark Cerny was doing a tour of the studio, and they were like, yeah, look at what we have. And Cerny apparently just looked at like what they've showed him. He went, oh, that's a shame about your depth of field. And everyone at Quantic Dream was like, what? Our depth of, oh my, what? And like apparently rebuilt the whole game because Mark Cerny came in and was like, their depth of field just doesn't cut it. And like, we have to redo everything.
Damn.
Oh my God.
Dude, Cerny's got some clout, man. You make the Bandicoot and you do
you make the Bandicoot. And then you make the Knack 1. And you're like,
right.
wait a
And
minute.
then you get the khakis and you get the chicks,
Dude, Cerny he's an interesting fellow. His demeanor is so like mellow and laid back, and I appreciate him though.
You gotta love that Cerny ASMR,
Yeah. I always like those pictures of him. People do the close-ups of his eyes and stuff.
So yeah, apparently, if you look in his eyes long enough, you actually see how you die.
Oh my God. I believe it. And our second guest that's been talking this whole time, and
I'm sorry,
we haven't actually introduced him. This is Press X to Alex.
Hey everybody, or just Alex is fine too.
I don't know, man. Press X to Alex is pretty funny.
No, I mean I'm a big Heavy Rain fan, and Press X to Jason's probably my favorite. Jason. Like that's like my favorite Flash game ever. And what's up everybody? I host the PlayStation Forecast. It's a deep dive PlayStation news and contextual recap weekly show. It's on YouTube and podcast services every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like, subscribe, and share. Also, I'm on the PlayStation Network as OwlX, OWL-X, which was my handle for everything until it started getting taken by less creative people.
Ooh.
Sick burn to strangers. And I have a blog that's pressxtoalex.com. I haven't updated it in about 8 weeks since I started the podcast. So the episodes just get posted there. And, between like, I'm also much like you, I'm betwixt, a newborn and moving. And so I'm just like, well, a 40-hour-a-week job, this podcast, like the PlayStation Forecast and everything else. And I don't want to feel like I'm repeating myself. If you see the written word, why are you going to listen to this, to the spoken word? Spoken word's more tangible, let me into your house.
I was working on my E3 predictions for the website. And then Sony was like, hey, guess what? We're going to spoil 4 of our surprises for you. Like, oh, man.
But were they really surprises,
No, they were all 4 of those games were in my predictions. I had it the show opening with Ghost of Tsushima.
Mhm.
What about Death Stranding though, guys? Like, wasn't, at least for me, I thought that was a surprise, just because weren't all the other trailers with the Game Award show? I don't think they've ever showed. Well, no, sorry, the original
original one.
He came on
Yeah,
stage.
that was
then
2016.
The last two had been the Game Awards.
Yeah.
So
and then there was some onstage stuff at PSX last year where they all just sat on the couch and talked.
I enjoyed that because Kojima had the little clampy thing on the shoulder.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
Dude, we were sitting like right in front of him.
I know.
That was
But the one thing that I definitely think though is just the fact that they're going to have that game at E3. I think it's way further along than what we think. Like because didn't they say last year that every game that they showed at E3 was going to come out in the next 12 months?
Well, they had said every one of those games had already been in development for 5 years, including Ghost of Tsushima and obviously the other ones. So that means, these games are pretty much wrapping up production. So I think they're just going to sit on them either until the proper time or,
just space them out. Yeah.
But between the four, I think the two we're furthest away from, right, is Death Stranding and Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, I would say that.
And if anything, I've been spitballing, on my show and everything that I think best case scenario they're 2019 like Q3 Q4 because you've got to especially with Days Gone coming, probably Q1. You want to create some distance between Days Gone and Last of Us, otherwise one's going to very much cannibalize the other. But then
you know what? That is true, but this year, how they're staggering games, I'm not quite sure. Right now, trying to predict what Sony's going to do is kind of it's like playing chicken, because who would have thought this year they would have had MLB, Kuni, turn around, drop God of War, then turn around weeks later and drop Detroit Become Human.
Plus Shadow too.
Geez,
yes, Shadow also.
Yeah. Yes.
That's the thing. So I was thinking the exact same thing as you guys. I was like, they got to stagger these games. But look at this year. Like every month, I've been playing my PlayStation 4 AAA games from Sony every month.
Exactly.
At the same time,
it's
though,
crazy.
You look at the genre of those games that have been released with like God of War and then Ni no Kuni. There's certain like niche games that like cater to a specific audience. Where Ni no Kuni is an established property from the PS3 era, and it's going to cater to the JRPG fans. And there are fewer, I think, JRPG fans than there are people that are going to go out and buy God of War.
That's true.
And,
that's
even looking at like the PSN downloads, like the top downloaded games between like March and April, Ni no Kuni was a much higher physical sale release and didn't even chart on the PSN downloads for PS4 between March or April.
But that's
kind of makes sense though. A lot of my RPG friends like the physical copies of games.
Yes,
sure,
very much.
Listen, but you drop Ni no Kuni and then you drop MLB at pretty much at the same time. So you take care of your sports
Far Cry in there too.
Plus you had Yakuza.
Exactly.
Yeah, Yakuza.
Like Yakuza, didn't it come out the same week?
Same
as God of War?
day. Yeah,
like same
week.
Yeah.
I think Yakuza was the Tuesday, and then God of War was the Friday.
Yeah.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
What an awesome week.
Yeah,
sure. And I think part of it's because you've got that small indie development team, Rockstar, kind of commandeering the month of October. Like everyone's like, all right, just clear the deck. October is Rockstar, November is Call of Duty. We don't want to mess that up. We don't want to get in their way.
If Call of Duty moves ahead,
but Call of Duty isn't it supposed to be coming out in October this year?
Yeah, October 12th, I think.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And then Spider-Man too, right? Oh no, Spider-Man
September.
It's like
am I the only one that thinks that Red Dead has kind of been knocked down a peg of excitement? And I think God of War really did something where it raised the standard of games. So that game is really gonna have to come out and obviously it's going to sell like nuts, but I just think it better be up and beyond. If not, I think people are going to be kind of let down because God of War has raised that standard
For sure, man, for sure, dude. I posted on Twitter just a couple days ago about how after playing God of War and going to other games, like it just nothing feels as good. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And the thing, like, and I thought I was alone. I thought I was just like out of my mind. Like no one else is gonna think that. But I tweeted that, and I had so many people, I had like dozens of people saying, "Yeah, man, like same thing." Like I can't play other games without thinking about God of War. So
it did. I think it broke a UK record.
Yeah.
The
weeks at number one.
Yes.
For a PS4 exclusive.
For first party Sony. Yeah.
Well, it did 3.1 million copies sold just in its first 3 days.
3 days, yes. It beat Uncharted 4, which was its previous at 2.7 million.
And I mean, it's within 3 days got halfway to Horizon's total.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like just absurd numbers.
That thing is probably sitting around 5 million right now. I mean, I'm just going to be honest.
believe it. Yeah, I believe
if it did 3 million in 3 days.
Yeah. And it was the downloaded one in April. Within 30 days has April. So 10 days.
Yeah.
In April, it was number one download on the PSN, and that constitutes digital pre-orders and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
you can say what you want about those single player story driven games being one and done, but I've beat this game twice. One a regular mode, I got a review copy, so I beat it. And then I beat it again on God mode on my account. And then the crazy thing about it is I'm trying to platinum it now. And even after you beat the game, it's like a whole half a game ahead of you in order to platinum it. It's so much side content and so many things to do. It's ridiculous. And and you got multiple people just going back playing the game. Like you said, they just don't want to let it go.
Then they drop the photo mode.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Love them.
You get those avant-garde art students in there with God of War.
Yeah, man.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because there was one image I saw, it was like black and white. I'm like, what am I looking at? And I sat there a second and I said, oh, it's Kratos. What the?
Yeah.
How did they do this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one thing, I really give shout out to Sony for is their photo modes. What they did in their games with photo mode is crazy. And then when you try to, look at games like GT Sport and all the technology that they did with their cameras, they basically turn a game into a freaking photo production studio. I mean, it's crazy. That's just added value.
Oh, you're talking about Scapes?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
Photo mode is so brilliant too, because I can't count how many times I took stuff in Horizon and went to Facebook and went to Twitter and went to Instagram and basically marketed the game for them for free.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's perfect marketing.
To be like, look at how good this game is. I remember on Uncharted 4, there was a spot where, I was Nathan Drake atop of like some tower and I was looking out over the sea just to I was gauging the game's draw distance because I'm a dork, but I was looking out over everything, and I went to the photo mode and did like this super wide shot and like made Nathan Drake look so small compared to everything else around him. And I was just like, this is remarkable. And like, they just get better with them.
Yep.
Did you guys?
I'm so excited for Spider-Man's.
Oh,
What, Paul?
Oh, I was going to ask it. Like, did you guys try the photo mode in Shadow of the Colossus? Because I thought that was like really,
yes.
Like there was actually 4 screens of options that you could do. Like you could pan, you could zoom, you could add filters, just like all kinds of stuff, man. It was like that was another game too. Same thing. Like I was posting everywhere, marketing the game like crazy, but everything just looks so good. You had to.
On the topic of ancillary, like things that Sony will just throw in or different dev teams will throw in, going back a step to Uncharted 4, the one thing I loved was the ability to get extra different, like, I guess to like reskin the game a certain way. To play Uncharted 4 on a PS4
or something
cell
like that.
shaded.
They have the reverse mode.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Was it that game that they had the reverse mode, or was it someone?
I don't know. I don't
I don't remember about that one.
I'm not sure.
There was one Sony game that I played recently that you could. Maybe was it actually Shadow of the Colossus?
Yeah, I think it's Shadow of the Colossus. You could change.
Yeah. Shadow of the Colossus. Yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking that. Yeah, Shadow of the Colossus. You could actually reverse the entire map. Like
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
What kind of Castlevania shit is that?
I know, right?
I abused the share button on the photo mode on Shadows of the Colossus.
Yeah.
I had to. It was like, this is too amazing.
Like, for sure, man. Every Colossi you had to.
The damn fur on them.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my god, that fur, the fourth Colossus was amazing, you know.
Having gigs and gigs of data on my PS4 that's strictly photo mode is nuts.
Yeah. It's a very great addition to the consoles.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to what you said, right? It is advertising. You get people to spend, $30 to $60 on your game, and they do all the marketing for you.
Mm-hmm. Like there were times I have a folder that's just a private folder on my Facebook of just different screenshots I've done, either for like when I'm writing reviews, I just kind of upload them and use my Facebook as a server. But I was at my baby shower a few months ago, and I was talking to one of my friends, like, dude, have you played Uncharted Lost Legacy yet? He's like, no, I haven't. I'm like, here, let me show you these screenshots.
Yeah.
I just whipped out my phone. I'm like, look how gorgeous this is. This is on a phone.
Yeah.
And he's like, is this the appropriate place to be doing this? I'm like, that's a very good question. Yes.
He won't mind. Yeah.
Nah.
But he won't mind.
No. It's all good.
Your wife's probably like, what are you doing over there? Nothing.
Nah. She's very supportive of all of this.
That's my wife too. She's okay. Have fun tonight. Good luck.
Yeah.
Actually, I walked down here. I got my microphone in place. Open my laptop. All of a sudden, she starts beating on the floor. Boom, 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 boom. What are you doing? Babe, come on now. But for the most part, we had to rush to Walmart to get some storage supplies, and then we went to Fazoli's. You know that place, right? Fazoli's.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. Just making sure,
Nah, man, we got Fazoli's around here.
Paul, Kratos, you got Fazoli's?
Yep.
Not here.
Oh, what?
What is Fazoli's?
It's just some Italian restaurant, but
it's like mall Italian.
Yeah. It's like, do we have time to eat here? I'm like, yeah, we got plenty of time. So we rushed back to the house and got set up, and now she's upstairs watching Hulu or something. So
the
pretty cool.
Our local Fazoli's on Wednesdays used to have. You can't see it, but I'm saying clown and making finger quotes for children's night, and he would tell jokes like, "Why did the squirrel fall out of the tree?" And the kids would go, "Why?" And he'd go, "Because he was dead."
Oh. That ain't kid appropriate.
Right? It's not even a joke. It's just this poor circumstance for a tree road.
Yeah.
Kids probably like, what? I don't get it, though.
Yeah. We used to go every Wednesday just to watch this dude.
Really? Give him tips. Here, man.
Nah, man.
Here's a couple dollars. Good job.
Yeah, you just sit there and you just watch it. You're like, this is the entertainment I come to Fazoli's for.
Hey, tell us the truth. Was it really you there in the clown?
It was not. No, I was like 16 at the time, man.
Oh. Your hidden past. Alex's hidden past.
You don't want to drum that up. That's a hornet's nest, man.
That's a whole other show.
No, thank you.
But okay, back to the E3 predictions. We kind of we started on it. Then it's like photo mode and Fazoli's and our wives and our kids. But no, like I was saying, Sony announced the 4 pillars of their E3. I don't think anyone was too surprised. And then everyone freaked out because, like, wait a minute, we didn't read 2 more sentences below the notice that there's still going to be third-party and indie titles announced.
Yeah. And then, you got VR and everything else.
Yeah.
But you know how it is. It's the internet, man.
The biggest question I have is, do you guys actually think they're going to have more Sony worldwide studio announcements, or do you think it's going to be strictly just those 4 games?
No, I think they're going to have more games. I think those are the games, right? We know for sure because PSX, Neil Druckmann said we're going to see gameplay of The Last of Us, and it's not going to be 30-second gameplay. It's going to be someone actually playing the game.
Yeah.
You have that, and I mean, Days Gone. I mean, we already know about that. They for a whole, this game is not coming out for a whole year, and they're already giving you 2-3 hours worth of gameplay. That's nuts. Spider-Man is a given. That's going to be one of their biggest sellers this year, next to God of War. And what else? What's the fourth one?
Death Stranding.
And Death Stranding. I mean, we're finally gonna see what this damn game is about. And I still think for some reason we're gonna walk out of there scratching our heads even after we see the gameplay.
Look, it's just Norman Reedus, and he walks up, he looks at the camera and pulls his face off, and it's Willem Dafoe, and you're like, okay, I'm confused.
God. Yeah. If they don't show gameplay at this E3 of Death Stranding, there's going to be some.
No,
even I'll ask some
questions. Confirmed. It's been confirmed.
We're going to see the game. Confirmed. Okay, because I know he just said the deep dives, which could be Kojima just talking for 20 minutes nonstop.
Trust me, we've seen enough translator of Kojima talking at PSX.
Yeah.
I mean, he spent 20-30 minutes. Yeah. They spent talking about it. So
him and Andrew House having like little inside jokes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember that time we lost your game?
Exactly.
It's like, what is this all about? You know,
Kojima just goes off on a 25-minute rant about Kong Skull Island. You're like, I can listen to this. This is fine.
Yeah.
I know he's coming back. Kojima's going to be at Jeff Keighley's E3 Coliseum.
Mm-hmm.
Him and that dude from Kong Island, they're best friends apparently.
Yeah.
So I've learned that I need to get in the movie industry first. Then I can become Hideo Kojima's friend.
What is that session about? Did they say? Are they revealing anything more at the Coliseum?
Maybe just his diehard love of movies. He does, man. Kojima loves movies.
Yeah,
specifically La La Land.
Yeah, he shows. He's tweeting all the time about different movies and stuff that he loves.
Will he ever direct his own movie? I know he tries to in his games, but will he ever direct his own 2-hour movie?
Maybe him and Del Toro.
That'd be kind of cool.
Something,
yeah.
Let's do this, Kojima.
Think about it. They got nothing but actors in this movie. I mean, in this game. I say movie, but I mean, you can
Mads and Norman Reedus.
Yep.
Maybe we'll see the female lead, the rumored female lead for the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shall see.
Hoping it's Scarlett Johansson. It would make me happy. That's my girl. Besides my wife. Don't tell her I said that, okay? If y'all listening, please don't be texting my wife.
If the podcast turn up going off air shortly, you guys.
I thought, didn't Sean Layton say that they were going to have another major announcement for Spider-Man? I'm pretty sure I read that.
Man, I'm
trying to figure out what that's going to be, but
I've got theories on Spider-Man.
You got theories?
I have theories.
Clone Saga.
No, nothing that like harebrained. But
if they can implement, tell me if I'm reading your mind right. If they can implement other Marvel characters in this Spider-Man game, was that you gonna say?
No, what I was gonna say is I think they're Sons of Libertying us with Spider-Man, and that we're seeing the Peter Parker portion.
Never mind. You think about Miles, aren't you?
I am. And they've said that he's more than just a cameo. He's more than this. And we've seen Shocker and mostly Mr. Negative as
we saw Kingpin.
Communicating him on the tower to let him know where Negative's helicopter was and everything. Oh yeah, and then
the concept artwork.
That's right. Yeah. And I just feel like we're getting just this vertical slice kind of what to expect from this game and what's going to be going on. And I don't know if it's going to take a twist like somewhere in the middle. I'd love to know why we get to play as Mary Jane, like what that's going to entail.
Yeah, they're totally redoing her character.
I don't think it's going to be actions. I think it's going to be more of
stealth.
She's walking.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's going to be actual fighting. I think just part of the dialogue. She's going to be walking home or something or interacting with people in school. I don't think it's going to be actually action. I mean,
Mary Jane,
I could be wrong.
She's a reporter in this game. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
Most of the time, Mary Jane's been a model because she's so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And this game, they're like, she's a reporter. Like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
And just with it being like you're playing the more experienced Peter Parker, and like there's just certain elements that I feel like, and I'm very much talking out of my ass here, and I just feel like there's just a sliver of information we don't know about this game that's gonna, like, for lack of a better word, be a game changer. And I just feel like there's a little bit being withheld about Spider-Man. And that's one of the reasons that like, and I could be totally wrong and be very disappointed when I get this, but still be satisfied. But like I said, I just feel like there's something that they're not being totally like upfront with about the game and the mechanics and everything. And that's where I'm just kind of like, I'm interested to see where this goes.
So do you think they're going to announce something along that lines at E3, or do you think that we're going to have to wait till we play the final game before we
I would
sort
still
of figure that out?
I would say lean into the final game, but I could see them being like, hey, like also here's like this other little like wrinkle in the Spider-Man fabric, you know, like the other like thread on the sweater kind of thing. And I don't know. I just, like I said, I feel like it's to be like, you're playing experienced Peter Parker. He's already got all these abilities, but there's also a skill tree. And here's how that's going to work. Also Miles, also Mary Jane, and Mr. Negative, because that's a great villain. It's
hey, he's not that bad, okay?
But he'd be good if he was better. But like
that was still so odd when they first showed that trailer and I saw his henchman. I'm like, is that Mr. Negative's henchman? Then you see him like, Mr. Negative?
Yeah, it's like, that's what you're rolling with. Okay, that's cool.
He's been around for what, 10 years now?
Yeah, right. I mean, I don't need like a Mysterio or anything, but come on. Look, I feel like we're seeing I think what we're seeing of the game is all from a very tightly like truncated part of the same portion, if that makes sense.
I get what you're saying. I would be down with that.
I'd be down. I mean, if I'm totally wrong, I'm 100% okay with that too. The game looks sick, but it's just something about it where I'm like, you're holding back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one thing that I was thinking about was, you know, that Square Enix is going to have the Avengers game as well, right? So are they going to be creating their own video game universe similar to what they have with the movies? Could we potentially see some kind of crossover or like cross promotion or like, I don't know.
I could have sworn they said that the games are each their own universe. Was that right? Did somebody say that?
I don't know.
Somebody could have said, I've heard that before, but at the end of the day, their job is to sell a game and to get us into it.
For Captain America.
And that's interesting. I could see them all being standalone titles too, because I know Marvel's just trying to get away from being like, we've got a movie, so here's a game Activision published from a developer that's closed now. But and I think we're right. Like
they're so bad.
Oh my god! Then you've got like X-Men Legacy that bankrupted Silicon Knights, which is why I'm never going to get Eternal Darkness 2. But
Transformer Ninja Turtle games. Oh my god!
Yeah, like it's just they're straying away from that because I think they want their games universe to be as strong as the cinematic universe is. And with this kind of being the first step, this being the Iron Man of the games universe. I don't know. I could see Square Enix is interesting. That is a conference or I guess presentation that they're doing that I've got like my eye on a lot because
they've been snatching up some talent for it too.
They have, but at the same time though, I made this comment. I'm just going to rehash a joke from my show. I said that if Square Enix isn't putting a Tomb Raider up against a much more successful game, they're delaying a JRPG. And like that's how I feel. And when we were going back talking about how like everyone's clearing the space for October for Red Dead, I feel like if October is Tiananmen Square, Red Dead is the tank, and Square Enix is like, well, we've got Tomb Raider, and he's standing in front of the tank. It's just like, that's not good. You did this before when you put Rise against Fallout. How'd that work? Oops. As a timed exclusive. But
see, I love the first Tomb Raider reboot. It was 2013, right?
Yeah.
I loved it. Great game. Now I played Rise, and I was like, oh, okay, it's still pretty good. It looks beautiful. I don't know. I just didn't like it as much as the reboot. And then the new one, I'm just kind of like, what's
it's fatigue. That's why.
That Larry David gif where he's like kind of shrugging. Yeah, I'm just kind of like, you know which one I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm just not excited about it as I thought I would be.
Well, it's a trilogy, and this is the last game of that one.
Laura still becoming the Tomb Raider. One day.
Yeah.
Are any of y'all excited for it?
Not at all.
Please don't let me shit on your parade. You know, I don't want to.
No. This new round of like the Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix Tomb Raiders are more like when they're $10.
Okay, I wouldn't go that far, but
Yeah.
I bought Rise for 30. So
my backlog is so deep and extensive that like I know that there's just games I'm never gonna get to. So I'm just like, when it's like 10, I'll jump on it. Because I mean, Rise has been on sale for just a litany of different prices, and I'm like, oh, it'll be cheaper or a plus game.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second. Give me 1 second. So what about okay, we're talking about we've talked about Spider-Man. We're all hyped for that. And we know about Death Stranding. We know something about it. But I think Ghost of Tsushima, a lot of people are saying this could be the show stealer for Sony. I mean, what we've seen looks amazing. I know it's all in-game, in-engine cinematics, which it's like, oh, it looks amazing, but I want to see real gameplay. And I've been hearing from people that are quote unquote insiders that Ghost looks amazing gameplay wise. So I'm hoping that when we finally do see it, that Sucker Punch is taking what they learned from Second Son and taking that next step with their engine and the graphics and what they could do with the PS4.
Well, look at it this way, right? The games that we've gotten this generation on the PlayStation, to me personally, it's far exceeded graphically of what I've wanted. You know, when you buy a new console, you want to see something that no other console can do, or something that the previous console couldn't do. And I think games like Uncharted, God of War, and Horizon, and so on, have done that. And now that we're in the middle to the end of the generation, now, I mean, these games are just going to be pushing the Pro that much further, and the Slim that much further. Well, prior to us going live, we were talking about how playing a God of War, your PlayStation, the fan is blowing like a helicopter. All of these games coming up are going to be doing that. They're going to be pushing the hardware to its limits. And I think, at the end of the day, that's what we pay for. That's what we spend $400 and $500 for a console for, or at least I do.
Well, and if you look at it, go ahead, Paul.
Oh, I was just going to say that. I mean, what I'm most excited about is that Sucker Punch said after the trailer, I think this was at PSX, they said that everything that you've seen there is going to be in the game, right? It's going to be places that you can actually go to, that you can actually visit and walk around, right? And just like when they say that, and if you replay the trailer and imagine yourself in all those different environments, you know what I mean? Like it's mind blowing, because I thought half that stuff would just be cinematic stuff that you wouldn't actually be able to visit, but being actually able to go and check out these like really exotic locations in Japan, just it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever researched? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, dude.
Oh no, dude, go ahead.
No, have you guys researched the backstory of the island of Tsushima and the Mongols invasion and all that?
It's been since
I heard about it. I never read the backstory, but I do remember how they try to keep it under wraps.
I know at one point in the historical, we're talking about historical facts here, a typhoon happened and it wiped out like half the Mongols' army. So I could imagine something in the game, maybe if they're, going historically accurate, something like that happening in the game would be freaking crazy. You go to their boats and invade that, get back at the Mongols, and all of a sudden a typhoon happens and you're trying to escape the boats breaking apart and shit. It could be intense.
What do you guys think about the gameplay for that? Because I know that they've mentioned that he's going to have a whole bunch of ghost powers, right? But I don't think they've actually explained what any of those are, right?
Dude, is he going to be mystical though, or is it just going to be like grounded? Or
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like,
Yeah.
is it going to be like Infamous, where you can do a lot of stuff, or
That's what I was
or is,
gonna
or is it
say
going to
is-
be like, is it going to be sword based?
If someone from Sucker Punch on June 11th on Monday at 9 p.m. Or 6 p.m. Pacific time at the LA Coliseum or wherever E3 is at, because I can't keep my dates and time straight, from Sucker Punch walks out on stage and they're like Infamous and Samurais and leaves. Okay, standing ovation.
Yeah.
I'm in. Like, that's it. Perfect. Done and done.
Yeah.
I need to know nothing else. Like, feudal Japan, that looks gorgeous. And Jay, to kind of like, circle back to what you were saying, if you parallel the PS3's timeline from 2006 to, so we're 5 years into, almost 5 years into the PS4's lifespan. If you look at where we're at compared to the PS3, we're just getting to Uncharted 3. We're just getting to, where developers really click and hit that like big stride. And I think we're going to see that with Sucker Punch with Ghosts, and that it's going to be their horizon. It's going to be their like, okay, yeah, you know us for Sly Cooper and you know us for Infamous. Now we've got this great idea that we're going to finally do and make, which same with Guerrilla was like, hi, you know us from Killzone. Here's something fantastic.
Yep.
I know, right? Because Killzone had its ups and downs. People either hated the series or loved it.
It didn't have its ups and downs in the first game. You couldn't jump.
That first Killzone was rough, man. It's the Halo killer. I played it. I'm like, no, dog. No, brah. Come on.
Yeah.
I thought Shadowfall was pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed Shadowfall.
I died so much in Shadowfall just looking at the lighting.
I remember when I first played it. That was the first game that I played on PS4, and man, like the graphics of that game were so good for a first gen.
I saw the way the light particles broke through leaves on a tree, and I'm like, this is amazing. I'm just getting shot in the head. I'm like, that's fine.
And that's a launch game. So, I mean, to this day, that game can still stand up to some of, the competitive games.
That Decima engine, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so excited for Death Stranding, is like, that's the engine that they're using. But there was that story that Kojima went, saw the engine, was like, I want to use that. Guerrilla's like, whatever you say, sir.
Please.
And then they get an email back from Kojima that's like, hi, my team fixed the lighting. And so like, cool, thank you. And then they readapted the lighting to Horizon, and they're like, oh, hey, they sent it back to Kojima, like, thanks for doing the lighting. We fixed this in it. And so there's been that collaborative effort to make that engine, because that's the same engine they used for Until Dawn.
Yep.
They use the Decima for the graphics and then Havoc for the physics, I think.
Yeah.
It's just like
the one thing that I go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's just a prolific engine that is like, I think the staple of this console generation.
Yeah.
That'll be Sony's thing going forward. Okay, guys, with the Decima, just use this.
I don't think that, but I think it shows how their studios, I mean, they have that synergy where they'll let people, they'll let their internal, as long as you work for Sony, you can borrow their stuff. I mean, when they were showing Hideo Kojima around, they flew him out to every single location of a studio, and they said, look, you can have whatever you want. And out of all of them,
have whatever you like.
He chose the Decima, and like he said, they hand it to him on a hard drive and say, have at it. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. And it shows that I do one thing. I love the fact that their internal teams can compete with each other on who has the best game and the best graphically looking game, and keep pushing the benchmark.
But you know what I love too? Like, so if you watch them on social media too, they're always talking to each other. Have you seen that? Like, they're always congratulating. When God of War released, like every studio that Sony has was sending congratulations, and
you saw like Druckmann do it, Scott Lowe.
They had autographed copies from Corey Balrog.
They're even sending gifts. Like you.
That's what I'm saying. Like care packages and stuff to each other,
like cakes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's
a big family. It's like, one big family.
I want to go to their
family.
Yeah. How can you stop a team like that, where all the developers from all these studios, pretty much friends, talk to each other, share information, ideas, and stuff on games? Like, that's unstoppable. And I think that's why we're at the point now where, I mean, any of those studios, man, I mean, are just, they can't be stopped. All of their games have been highly rated, and pushing the graphical fidelity forward. So we think God of War, right, is I think the top of the food chain right now.
That and Horizon
sure.
for me.
We still got more games coming. It's not over, and that's crazy.
And then you've got anything coming out of XDev.
Yep.
Out of XDev Europe, with like whatever. God, I hope Supermassive gets their poop together, because like that, I love Supermassive games. Then you've got like Housemarque, and you've got all the PlayLink stuff that I don't think they're hopefully not quite ready to give up on. Then you've got VR. Like there's so much in like their pantheon of games. But then you've got like
plus
the collaborative,
the China dev too, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah,
the China project.
Yeah.
And then you've got rumors that they're opening up another studio in San Diego to work with Naughty Dog on something. And then you've got like whatever Sony Japan's doing, probably in collaboration with Team Ico. And it's just, it's absurd. But the one thing I wanted to ask you guys while I was on here, what are you all expecting from FromSoft?
Oh, Shadows Die Twice, or
Bloodborne 2. From what I hear, right?
Well, from here, it's not Bloodborne 2. It's something that's similar to.
There's Tenchu.
I was thinking
that
Tenchu.
Quote was from Tenchu, the original Tenchu or whatever. But from what I'm hearing, that was just a quote that was out there. Like it really didn't. It really didn't have any relevancy. It's just, people try to mix the puzzles and the pieces together.
Sure.
Whatever. From what I hear, it's Bloodborne 2, and this is why I'm going to say Bloodborne 2. It makes
the
sense.
Kart racer. Bloodborne cart.
That would be amazing. Okay.
I'm finally getting Bloodborne cart, everybody.
Dude,
DLC Knack characters.
That would suck. But to be fair, think about it. That is one of the most requested games this gen. That game was very high. It was the highest rated game prior to Uncharted coming out. So everyone's begging for that game, and I just don't see them not coming out with the sequel to it and skipping over that. I mean, I could be wrong. Who knows? But I'll go with Bloodborne 2 until I see different.
I would love for it to be Bloodborne 2. The one thing that I'm struggling with, though, is that the original trailer for that game, well, the only trailer that we've seen so far,
10 seconds long,
was but the thing was it was at the Game Awards, and PSX was the very next day. So I'm really struggling with that, because why, if it's going to be a PS funded game and a PlayStation exclusive, why would it be at the Game Awards show? Like the Game Awards show to me is more, it's multi-console. It's you know what I mean? Like it.
But here's the thing: they didn't show you anything. They didn't show you. There was no game, nothing leading towards what it was. That's the thing, right? It's like, hey, this game isn't coming out for a year or two. Let's just throw that there just to kind of feel. I don't know. I hope so. But
yeah, like you said, I hope so, man. I mean, Bloodborne was.
I just don't think that they will bypass Bloodborne 2, right? A recent game that they need to really follow up on, to go pull something back from the PS1 era that most people forgot about, right? Only us old heads remember Tenchu.
Hey, Tenchu Z on the 360, man. I worked at GameStop. I had a guy named Tom who would always come in, tell me what the weather was, despite the fact the store had windows and that I had to walk outside to get inside. I knew what the weather was. He'd always come and go, "You got Tenchu Z?"
Sure,
no, Tom, no, we don't. He's like, "All right, I'll come back tomorrow."
Now, did that game do very well on the 360 back then?
I forgot all about it.
Critically, I think it did. Commercially, I couldn't tell you. It's been since like 2007.
Listen, when people say Tenchu, I think of Battle Arena, Toshinden days, Rallycross back in PS1 days. I don't think of any sequels to that may or may have not, that came the previous gen, because it was totally went under the radar for me. But I don't know. I mean, I just don't think that they would. Why would they dig way back into the archives when they have a big opportunity to give people Bloodborne 2? And that's just my logic on there. I could be.
So you're telling me that we're not going to get a new siphon filter?
No. I listen. I didn't say that, right? No. You're taking my words, right? I still believe there's going to be a soak show up. I still believe that there's going to be a siphon filter.
Oh, dude, no, they closed Zipper, man. I don't know if you saw, but there was this network outage in 2011, and it just didn't do us any favors.
That's Zipper, right? They still own the IP. They still own that. you can always, and I think a lot of those people from Zipper ended up going to other PlayStation studios that they have. They tend to, okay, move over here, move over there, and scatter them around. It's easy to get somebody. They could even get Bluepoint, someone who's known for
Bluepoint's up to something.
Yeah, they mentioned their next project is their biggest project ever. So
yeah, what bigger game would it be?
Well, that's the rumor. Demon Souls.
Demon Souls. Man, we've had so many freaking Souls games.
Give me Twin Snakes, man. Give me Twin Snakes.
But that's the original, man. Demon Souls was the original Souls.
I get it, but man, we got all these freaking remasters and these things. If these guys just give me a SOCOM and then I can die a happy man. That's it.
Okay. So, what if we met?
All I wanted in my life was SOCOM.
Let's collaborate here. Let's pool our ideas together. Okay. Bluepoint takes the stage on Monday, June 11th at 9 p.m. at I think the LA Coliseum. They come out. And they're like, we've been working on our largest game ever. It's a battle royale.
Oh no,
ladies and gentlemen, Mag 2.
Oh, okay. That would be
okay.
Mag was ahead of its time. Okay.
Or they come out and they're like, you may remember this from the Xbox, but it's ours now. 1 versus 100 trivia battle royale.
Oh yeah.
Well, I tell you what, a Mag 2 would. I mean, that was the first game to have 256 players.
Did you play it?
Yes, I loved it. I mean, I loved it.
Weren't you in groups of?
It was the only thing I had because SOCOM was gone. So
that sucked. The game released and then the network got hacked and all that.
Yeah, that game really died. I bought the PlayStation TV, the 3D TV. I bought that.
Oh God,
with the glasses and everything because SOCOM.
I have that too.
Because SOCOM,
I still have mine.
Because
SOCOM. I'm looking at mine right now. I'm in front of me.
Yeah, it was 3D capable.
I still use it as my monitor.
Yep. It works great for me, dude.
It's widescreen. It's awesome.
Yep. So fingers crossed. I mean, maybe we're just hoping, but man, that just shows you that they have some crazy IPs that we love and adore and wish that they would bring back.
Could they bring back SOCOM as Battle Royale?
Would you want SOCOM?
They could, but I wouldn't want it.
Primarily based on squad communication.
Maybe it could be a mode inside of a separate mode, but I wouldn't want them to. We got too many PUBG and Fortnite.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna see more of it coming out of Activision. And I think really we're gonna know. I think Ubisoft's gonna come out with it too.
Yeah,
rolling out Division 2.
My predictions for E3 is shitloads of Switch ports, a whole bunch of PSVR ports from Oculus Rift and Vive games, and then of course every game that known to man is going to get a battle royale mode. Every game, I know it's coming.
I think if we see them out of any, it's just going to be from the
third party,
your EA, your Activision, your Ubisoft, your big three, kind of like when things stop being cool because your parents start doing it.
Yeah,
it's going to be when they roll those out, and I think we'll see it with like a Dark Zone and Division 2, like a Dark Zone battle royale.
Yeah.
They could add it to Siege, but Siege is so squad based. I don't think they would.
Yeah.
Same with like Wildlands.
Division 2. I mean, the Division 2.
Yeah, that's what I was saying with like the Dark Zone mode, and like doing something like that. But then I think like clearly there's a new Splinter Cell coming, and
Splinter Cell battle royale.
Yeah.
Well, I think if there's a new Splinter Cell coming, I would not be surprised if that's an Xbox exclusive.
Not me. And I'm going to tell you.
No.
I'm going to tell you why.
Got to do something.
There might be a marketing thing that they have with it.
I'm going to tell you this.
They would never do that exclusive.
Just go ask Walmart
anymore. They don't have the clout.
They don't have the money right now.
No. Even if they had the money, right? Microsoft has money. Xbox
has tons of money.
Yeah. Here's the thing. It would not benefit them at all for the mere fact that they're out here now trying to pretty much shake hands with everybody and play kumbaya, and so it would make no sense for them. It wouldn't be beneficial. I mean, right now their install base is what it is, and they would not gain one single more user just because they got that game as an exclusive. We've seen that time and time again when they do get games exclusive, even though they're timed, it didn't really do anything. I mean,
I think it's been the wrong game, and I think if you, it would have to be like the chips would have to fall correctly, where it's got to be an IP that's people are clamoring for. That there's a dedicated base that would be willing to be like, yeah, I mean, I don't know what
They don't care for exclusives like that. That's what I'm saying. They don't care anymore. They're trying to put their exclusives on other platforms. So why would they invest that money trying to get just one exclusive when they're telling you, hey, these games are going to the PC. We're trying to work on stuff with the Switch. And
yeah, I mean, you see that with like Minecraft and everything. Part of me wonders if like Marvel's cut a deal for different heroes through different consoles to be like, hey, Sony gets Spider-Man, you guys get
Hulk,
something else.
No, Sony has the clout because they have the movie studios and stuff. So they get to cut deals like that. Hey, look, I'll let you borrow my character in a movie if you let me do the exclusive game. You know, they have the bargaining chips. I don't see the will or the want from Phil Spencer or Microsoft to secure something that big.
Well, I think part of that
they could get a timed exclusive or, like you said, like special characters or special stuff like that.
Sure,
but the want for that, those days are over. I hate to say it, but this generation is over, right? They're working on next generation.
It's never over.
Generation, they'll probably start with the exclusive thing again. But this generation,
and you still got to get Crackdown out. Like Sumo Digital, God, Crackdown looked like shit last year.
They are quiet about that game. They haven't mentioned it.
I felt like I was in like the minority when they showed Crackdown 3, and I was sitting there going like, that looks like trash.
Man, that does not look good. You weren't in the minority. You were in the majority. It's just people didn't want to physically say it. You had guys saying, "Well, it's all about the multiplayer anyway, so graphics don't really matter. It's about they promised us the destruction and
it's got 50% more Terry Crews."
Yeah,
hey, that is a good thing though. Okay,
yeah, but do you guys think we will finally see the cloud, or do you think they're just going to say, "Look, it didn't work out. Sorry."
Next gen, probably.
I think they have to at this point. You know what I mean? Like if they backtrack on that, then how much clout are they going to have left? I mean, they've already canceled Fable and canceled Scale Down and all that. If they canceled that mode or even just canned the game, that's.
I think the problem
I think they're going to show it this year for sure.
They lean so much on familiar crutches though, where like if they're backed into a corner, they can always be like, here's a Halo, but like that's kind of that. I wouldn't say the well is poisoned for like Halo or Gears, but like I think there's only so many Sundays in June that annually you can, talk about Forza.
Yeah.
People are just like, I mean, that's cool.
They listen,
and then here's Anthem.
When they announced their IPs, their first party IPs, right? Nobody screams through the roof. They're just kind of like, okay, well,
I think
we knew we were going to get a Halo, Gears of Force. I mean, it didn't really shock anybody, right?
Part of that's their presentation and the way they show their product.
Yeah.
Like they're still very much like buzzwords and communication. And here's talking. We brought a car on stage.
Yeah.
Like, that's not like where Sony came out in 2016 and they're like, hey, hi, Sean Layden. Here's Shuhei. Here's Kojima. Game.
That was pretty crazy when they started that, man.
Yeah, and then like you would think that you would see the success from that, the tsunami of like praise they got for that conference, and then in 2017 you're gonna think, oh shit, okay, the game's changed. Like everyone's gonna do something different, and then Ubisoft still goes out with a conference that's 35 minutes too long, and then Microsoft is still like, we brought a car on stage. It's like, again.
Yeah. I think that's what Turn 10 Studio, that's what they do. I think this big over the top presentation for something that, to tell you the truth, the regular Forza Motorsport series has been on the decline. The Horizon series is where everyone go to. That's the bread and butter. I think they need to, if it was me, just my recommendation. Now, I'm a guy that buy every single Forza. I mean, I'm the racing guy. I think they need to take a couple of more years off from Forza Motorsport and do something different. Like because it's becoming now where you have the same tracks, right? There's only so many tracks you can have in a game that are based on real life tracks. There's only so many cars that you're going to have. They already have a game that's 4K 60. What else can they do? I mean, it's
make the rain prettier.
I mean, come on. But let me say this before I finish. I think at E3, this is what their Halo, Gears, and Forza, right? This is what they're going to do. They're probably going to shoot themselves in the foot because they're known for doing that. They're going to come out there and say, "Yeah, here's a new Halo, here's a new Gears, here's a new Forza." And at the end of the trailer, you're going to see it's going to say exclusively on Xbox One and PC. You know, that PC there kind of it deflates the air out because people are going to be like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to get it on PC, and it's for some reason it just rubs the console gamers the wrong way.
And I think, you know, crap, I lost my point. Never mind. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
No. I had something to go with what you were saying. Oh, I was going to say not to like put salt in more wounds, you know, given the Vita news that came out just before we started. You know, with the whole like play your Xbox One games anywhere on PC is kind of the same. Like every PS4 game's a Vita game with our crappy remote play system.
Hey, remote play is not that bad. I played Fortnite with it, okay, and I couldn't. Okay, maybe the control schemes are bad because I was trying to use the back touchpad. Shoot my damn gun. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Remote play, you know, it's serviceable.
I platinumed the Order on remote play.
Really? See? Come on, it's not terrible.
It wasn't terrible, but then I went to go play Life is Strange on it, which is actually remote play like formatted. So when you boot it up on the Vita, it'll be like, hey, you're playing this on a Vita. We've remapped the controls for you.
Wow.
And I would take like, yeah, it's awesome.
That is amazing.
There's a handful of games that do that. I would take like 5 steps and it'd be like, yeah, connection's bad. Sorry. It's like I'm upstairs.
Yeah.
I'm 10 feet from my PS4, man.
Like this is a bit absurd.
That was some sad news. Screw you, Kotaku. It's having a good day, okay?
They're just doing their jobs, man.
I guess there's not gonna be no Vita announcements at E3, huh?
Yeah.
Sean Layden made that very clear when he mentioned the PS4 twice.
Yeah.
And he's like, with the PS4, PS4 Pro, and PSVR, it's like, okay, 2 of those are the same.
Yeah. Do you guys think that Sony would ever do another handheld?
I don't. Don't waste your money. I mean, unless it's like a split. I mean, a split. What the hell? The Switch type device.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I
don't want them to. I think Nintendo has always won. Yeah, people think that the handhelds just started recently. They haven't, man. I have my Turbo Express. I have my Game Gear,
Nomad,
my Turbo Duo, Nomad. I mean, I have all of those handhelds. And
do you have the Master Gear so you can plug it into your Game Gear and play your Master System games?
I don't have that.
That's the dumbest adapter I own.
I know, but I do have a 32X.
Oh hell yeah! So okay, so on your Genesis, is it like the Gen 1 or Gen 2? Like
I have both.
Okay, I was gonna say because I'm looking at mine right now, and I've got the side loader Sega CD with the 32X on top, so it's as wide as it can be and as tall as it can be.
And there's like
when we go to
3 adapters that go each one of those devices.
There's so many. There's this rat king of cables coming out of the back of it, and we just refer to it as the Duke.
The Duke.
Yep.
You have the Voltron of Sega Genesis devices.
Basically, man.
Ching-cha-cha-cha-ching. Whoa.
Well, you could actually take the Nomad too. I think it had an output, so you could.
Yeah, it has a TV output.
Yeah.
Oh, you can plug a second controller in, so you can actually play on the screen while your friend is playing on the TV. It was actually ahead of its time, but a lot of stuff was ahead of its time.
That's the original Switch, then, right?
It pretty much is.
Yeah. Oh my God, Sega, you geniuses!
Dude,
Sega Foundry actually did a video recently about that. It was about a month ago. Yeah, you can look at it on YouTube. It's the Sega Nomad. It was literally ahead of its time.
I mean, you could say that about so many things with Sega, specifically the Dreamcast.
The Dreamcast. Oh
yeah.
It just wasn't ahead of its time in privacy protection.
The VMU to be able to save your games to a VMU.
Well, and you even look at not to make this a Dreamcast podcast, but you look at like I always talk about how Shenmue is the grandfather of open world sandbox games and day-night cycles and QTEs. Like the game's boring as shit, and
Oh,
you have to dial everyone on a rotary phone, and there's certain things you can't do unless it's past 6 p.m. And half the game is spent of you putting boxes in a warehouse on a forklift. Like, but you still see how like Yakuza's evolved from that, what God of War took from that, how Rockstar has openly come out and been like, if it wasn't for Shenmue, there would be no Grand Theft Auto 3. True. And it's like so many things have been built off the backs of Shenmue that I don't know why anyone would want Shenmue 3.
Yeah.
Well, they don't hold up.
The nostalgia, right? Bringing those games.
Definitely.
I played Shenmue, and I posted a picture on Twitter maybe a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and I was playing it, and my God, my eyes started to cry. It was like, oh my God, just
nostalgia bomb hit you.
No, you get hit in the face with a soccer ball.
It did not hold up well, is what I'm saying. It did not like.
It doesn't.
The loading, it just didn't hold up well. And
the acting,
maybe that's why I don't have strong feelings for backwards compatibility. I'm always thinking of, hey, look, I keep my consoles anywhere. So if I want to play my 360 games or PS3 games, I'll go get my consoles and plug them up and play them. Other than that, I spend all these money on these consoles for the new experiences that they can offer me. So that's kind of my personal deal. You know, it's great. Every other weekend, go plug in an old retro system and, you know, enjoy that. You know, play a little Tecmo Bowl and Double Dribble and stuff like that. And then after that, I'll box it back up, stick it back in the closet, and
get some Bill Lambert's Super Robot NBA basketball.
Exactly.
Speaking of Shenmue, the series, do you guys think we'll see Shenmue 3 during Sony's press conference?
Yes. I think we'll get a release date too.
Yeah.
2019. Oh, shucks.
No, we may be surprised, man. It's
you're gonna see Shenmue 3 2019. Then under that, it's just gonna be like weeks away, like 2019 weeks away.
Wait a minute.
I could see it
on Kickstarter.
Exactly. I could see a December release because that's the time that
the game. Who's publishing it? Deep Silver.
Deep Silver, yeah.
So I guess they have some more funds now, and.
But what do you guys think about it being PlayStation exclusive? Do you think, because you know they like Sega announced that Shenmue 1 and Shenmue 2 is going to be coming to Xbox.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's a chance that it's going to come? Do you think it's a timed exclusive, just like say Final Fantasy 7 Remake?
It could be, but I think it's going to be exclusive at least for a year for the immediate.
Now the issue, Paul, is you're assuming that Final Fantasy 7 Remake's coming out.
Hey, okay. Okay, look.
That's true. Whole, it's probably PS5.
That whole thing about it not coming out for 5 more years was a joke, apparently.
Well, I mean, either way, by the time a Final Fantasy 7 remake will come out, everybody's going to be like, yeah, but where's 9?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's nice.
We've already gotten 10 and 10 too.
Yeah.
True. You guys read too that they essentially scrapped the first, what was it, like year and a half or 2 years of development?
Everything CyberConnect 2 did.
They
dismantled it.
They took it all in house, and yeah.
But I mean, it looked good. Did you guys see the PSX 2015? That trailer? Remember that?
I was there, man. I was there.
That shit looked good. That trailer looks legit.
Yeah. Paul was there. You couldn't play it because he had to play Heavy Rain before you.
People were crying.
Screw you, Paul.
I'm serious. People, when Final Fantasy 7 came on, people beside me in their seats were crying. They were wailing at the top of this. And then once they had, they had Shenmue and they had The Last Guardian and they had Final Fantasy 7 all within 10 minutes of each other. Oh man, people were just crying. I've never seen anything like it before.
Right, but remember at PSX that fall in December, they showed the gameplay trailer.
Yeah,
and it looked pretty damn good. I mean, it looked like it was.
Yeah,
legit, but then all of a sudden it's not good enough. Why did you outsource one of the biggest, most requested games ever? Company to another developer.
Well, I don't know if you guys heard the story when they announced it, and they're like, and it's being produced by, and I forget who the producer's name was. His response basically was, "I am. It is."
Yeah.
And
okay, cool.
Right, and that's the thing, and kind of tangentially linking this back to the complaints about PS4 or PlayStation's E3 this year. I think they shot their wad in 2016 being like, here's 12 games with no release dates. Yeah, and now we're getting up to where, the first round, the first chamber of those are getting, expelled really with God of War, Detroit, Spider-Man in September and Days Gone in probably January, February.
Yeah.
That if they were to come out at 2018 and be like, here's 12 new games, no release dates, everybody would just be as upset as they are now, where they're like 4 games and
Deep
then
dives,
third-party stuff. We need to get these games out.
You can't please everyone. It's. I mean, even if Microsoft came out at E3 and was like, new Fable, new Perfect Dark, new Battletoads, new Conquer, new Blinks, people be like, I was hoping for another Jet Set Radio or something crazy. Second game, what the hell, people? What do you want?
Yeah, here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing with that, right?
People are never satisfied. It's never enough. You could show 1,000 new games. People,
I totally agree, but I do think that people will always compare your games to the competition, and people want The Last of Us. People want their version of Last of Us. They want their version of God of War. They want their version of Uncharted. They want their opposites. For every game Sony give you, the Xbox want someone to get. They want to get a competing platform.
Excuse me.
I mean, a competing model of it. So I don't know. And then Nintendo kind of does its own thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Nintendo's like, hey, do you want a Star Fox Racer? Yeah. I mean, that sounds kind of
retro. Cool.
Yeah. You're gonna love it. I probably will. Yeah. I love Star Fox, so it's
gonna be like F-Zero. They said that's the rumor, right? So I was like, yes, I love F-Zero.
Well, I heard it's supposed to be more like Diddy Kong Racing, like there's boss battles and quests you can do. I'm like, okay, this sounds pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I got a question for you guys too. This is one thing that I was thinking about today, and I just for some reason I can't understand why Sony doesn't do this, but so. Sony, one of the biggest advantages I find that Sony has with their PlayStation 4 is that they have a lot of third-party AAA exclusive titles, but they don't show a lot of these at E3. They mostly show the worldwide studios, and they show the games that they have marketing rights on, like Call of Duty and Destiny, stuff like that.
Yeah, the big ones.
But this year alone, we're gonna have stuff like Dragon Quest 11, right? Yep. We're gonna have Yakuza Kiwami 2 coming out. We got Left Alive, that new Square Enix exclusive PS4 game.
Yeah, we just got Ni no Kuni too.
Yeah, but Ni no Kuni was never at the PlayStation conference. So the question I have is why would Sony not show Ni no Kuni 2 at their conference? And why would I don't expect Dragon Quest is going to be there, and I don't expect stuff like Left Alive or Yakuza is going to be there.
Why. I can tell you why. That's because these games, right? They're third-party games, and if Sony doesn't say, "Hey, we're going to divvy up the marketing rights," like for example, Shenmue, right? Sony agreed that if they hit their Kickstarter budget or whatever, they said that they would, they would. I don't want to say donate, but they would handle some of the marketing. They would, basically pay for the marketing for Shenmue. So the marketing for that costs millions of dollars. So, but these third-party games, I guess they try to work out the deal and say, hey, we're pretty much the default platform. If you want to sell, we have 80 million people. You can put it on our platform, or you can take it across the aisle if you want to. It's up to you. So they just be like, hey, look, we'll just let you put it on our platform. We won't charge you any fees or something like that to make it, to make it more pleasing. And I think the developers just let it do what it do, and the publishers just let it do what it do. I don't think Sony actually go out and say, man, we want to get this here on our platform, because if they did that, they would advertise it. I think Sony only advertised games that they actively went out and tried to get.
Yeah.
Well, I think part of it's the crowd too, and who you're catering towards. With PSX, those are the hardest of the hardcore, right? Those are the ones that are tweeting weird indie developers about their racing games and wondering why they don't have platinum trophies, like I did this afternoon, and keep referencing Skylight Free Range 2 Goikdine. But it's with E3, you've got primarily Games Press, you've got big media outlets, and you've got shareholders you've got to please. That's where the most eyes are going to be on your product is with E3, and then you use PSX for the more granular nitty gritty,
more for us guys.
Sure. Yeah. So and that's why you're with that, there was that E3, I think it was 2016 still, with E3 2016, where it's God of War, Spider-Man, Days Gone, here's cool thing. And then at PSX, they're Danganronpa, Ni no Kuni. And it's for me, I'm like, yes, please, more Monokuna Cubs. I'm in. But you know, if like I was sitting at like an E3 conference and like with the new Danganronpa series, I know the first 6 rows are going to be like the Danganwhatma.
No.
There's 3 of these.
True.
That's not last year. Their pre-conference show had Yakuza and Undertale and
and the PlayLink stuff.
Yeah, I thought that was. I liked how they did that. I liked how they had the more
Guacamelee.
obscure, more.
I think Guacamelee was Tokyo Game or Paris Games Week. Yeah, but the issue with the pre-show is they barely advertised it. Like there were major press outlets that missed the pre-show announcements, and they were like, "This E3 was really lacking. Where's the exclusive?" And they're like, "Oh, they were announced 30 minutes ago," and it's like, "What?"
Yeah.
Well, they announced Gran Turismo. Well, they
on the pre-show.
Like, yeah, they announced the release date in the pre-show. I was like, what?
You know, I think it's chaos that goes on at E3. I think the chaos and the time, you know, the limited time slots and everything. I just think that. Plus, I do believe that Sony figured, hey, look, it's Gran Turismo. If you don't know about this game after freaking 25 years, come on, like, why do we have to spend money on marketing? We know what this thing is gonna do, and so far, I think it's so far since it launched around 4 plus million. So, and this is not even a mainstream Gran Turismo, so you can just imagine that game is, you know, probably, you know.
What did y'all?
What
did y'all think about those GT7 rumors that popped up? Was it last week? Somebody found a box art, their GameStop that was.
Yeah.
What is the rumor? I didn't see it. Was it supposed to be coming out this year?
It's coming. No, that is coming.
Like next April. Like what?
Yeah.
What?
Well, that was something Polyphony said too.
That's way too early.
No. Listen,
way too early.
Digital Polyphony. Kaz Yamuchi. Kazunori. That's what it is. Kazunori Yamuchi. He said when they build GT Sport, that's basically the foundation. And they built it for the future in mind, with 8K in mind and everything else, and going forward. So they could easily you know, they have the base for it. So they're probably already working on that. And it'll probably be a launch title for 5. That's what I'm thinking.
I thought Sport was 7.
No, Sport is not. Sport is its own. It's kind of a spinoff, right? It's focusing towards the online racing.
Prologue.
Yeah, I know, right?
No. It's not Prologue.
I know.
What people need to realize, right? It's for the esports crowd. You can get your real life racing license. You got all these tournaments that go on. There was just one this past weekend. You know, when you had winners and stuff like that, it was to cater to the esport racing crowd, the iRacings, the Assetto Corsas, the project cars and stuff like that. It's catered for that. This was not the mainstream GT Sport. What they did to satisfy that, they stuck that single player mode in there. They made it offline, the offline mode for the people who wanted the traditional GT stuff. But this is not the mainstream GT7 game. And they've kind of been adamant about that. So
yeah, and I know when they released GT6 for PS3, despite the fact that the PS4 was, you know, like right around the corner, they asked him like, "Why would you do this?" And he even said, he was like, every PlayStation console, we've done 2 Gran Turismo games.
Yeah,
and so he's like, we felt that we deserved to give Gran Turismo 6 to the PS3, and it's like, that's dumb.
Yeah, the game still sold 6 million copies, which is pretty good for, you know, but you got to realize it was kind of like in the same fashion of The Last of Us. I mean, they released it at the end of the generation, and for some reason, I guess they decided not to do it. That was
like June. Wasn't Gran Turismo 6 like October?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, like
before the PS4.
Like a month before, yeah. It was like right around that time. I don't know why they did it, but maybe they looked and said,
all that money so you could drive on the moon. We had to work those physics out. Now we can't port it to the next console.
Yeah, I never understood that and why they didn't port to the PS4. Why not just...
It's those moon physics, man, or lack thereof, I guess.
I don't know, man. I don't know. One thing about Sony, and whether you give them a credit or knock them for it, but they give their developers all the time in the world to do whatever they want. Like there's no reason Gran Turismo should take like all those years. There's no reason like The Last Guardian should have taken 10, 15 years. There is no reason that, you know, all of these games just takes, you know, but I do get it, right? The end result.
Dreams is like 6 years in development.
Yes. The end result may justify it, but they just show you that they're not over the back, you know, of their developers hounding them and force them to do stuff. And I've heard, you know, we've heard that other manufacturers do that or other companies do that.
Yeah.
And that has led to some cancellations and
well, that's one thing that I love about Sony, right? They give them the money, they give them the time. Like I was looking at Shu's Twitter, I think this was in like January, February, and he was visiting Media Molecule. And just like, it looks like he had a great time there checking out Dreams, right? I'm sitting there thinking like, I heard about this game back in 2013.
Yes.
Like, aren't you trying to
13, really?
Yeah.
Right at the very first unveiling of PlayStation 4. They showed Dreams there.
Yeah.
And I was like,
they were like playing the instruments with the move controllers, right?
Yeah. Every other boss, you would imagine that they would be going there to either fire the team or, you know, light a fire under them and say, get this game out in the next couple of months, or like, oh, you're done. But Shu was there, and it just looks like he's just, you know, he's checking out the game. He's just seeing how far it's getting along. You know what I mean? Like just supporting them. So, you know, just the fact that they have such long time frames, like same with Ghost too, right? Ghost has been 5 years in development.
5 years. Yeah.
It's amazing. Like that's why we get such great games from them.
From what I saw of Dreams at PSX 2017, what they're making, what's taking so long, and whatever, it could be something freaking amazing. I mean, I know it sucks that it's taken this long to develop it, but if everything comes out and it's functional and it is what they promised to deliver, it's going to be something special.
Yeah. Well, I was even reading too that they're thinking about letting people create their own content and then potentially even selling it on PlayStation.
I'm excited.
That'd be awesome, like amazing. Could you imagine?
I'm excited to see what they're going to give us to start with, but I'm excited to see what
the long term
the PlayStation Nation is going to turn it into, because people took Little Big Planet and made first person shooters with it.
Yeah.
My son one day, I walked down here, he was sitting here playing Little Big Planet. Like, Tom, what are you playing? Little Big Planet. And I said, no, what are you playing right now? He goes, Dad, this is someone's stage they made. And it was like a legit first-person shooter, like a corridors and everything. I'm like, oh my god,
it's amazing, yeah.
So that was just the PS3, the power of the PS3 primarily. I mean, the tools they had for Little Big Planet 2 and 3 was still based on their old content,
the old stuff.
So you know, Dreams is giving us the power of the PS4, and then letting your creativity run wild. So I can't wait to see what gamers take and just go crazy with.
Do you guys think we're going to see that at E3? You think
yes,
that's my prediction. They're going to announce it at E3.
The release date. We're going to release date.
My prediction for Dreams. Again, this is just me pulling
tonight.
Yes, I was gonna say they'll go out. Media Molecule will be there. Like, by the way, here's more of Dreams. The demo is available tonight. The game comes out in August.
Oh man, that would blow my mind.
Yeah,
that would just be the icing on the cake for this year.
Because they said, like, when they did that big reveal at Paris Games Week, everyone that asked them, like, when's the release date, everyone at Media Molecule Uniform's answer was as soon as we can.
Yeah.
All right.
They're definitely on point with stuff like that.
If Dreams comes out this August, and if Bloodborne 2 gets announced at E3, I'm buying all of you guys champagne.
You mean Bloodborne cart, Paul?
Hey, I think Sam wanted to bet.
I'm shipping some champagne over.
Let's see what Sam has to say.
I think Sam said a minute ago he wanted to bet you about Bloodborne 2. I think that's what he was saying.
Okay, well,
hold on, let me see if he's still on here. Yeah, he's still here.
Yeah, Sam, you want to bet Bloodborne 2 or Tenchu? Again, it's a toss-up. I'm still gonna stick with my guns. It just makes more sense to me.
What if it's a Castlevania game?
You know what? Who knows?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Knack 3.
Oh, what?
Oh, no.
You don't want Knack Souls?
Give me a new Sly Cooper, please.
Hey, that's another thing. You brought up a good point. I do love how Sony will they don't mind taking risks and just saying, hey, look, this game bombed the first time. We may be working with something here. Let's give it another go around. You just never know. Because look, Uncharted, right? If the first one didn't light the world on fire, I keep saying, and if they said just one and done, that's it, we would have never got the freaking Uncharted series.
Right.
Yeah.
This is why, man, you have to try again. I mean, I still think and I still hope maybe by, if not this generation, next generation, we will get a Resistance game and we will get one final Killzone just to kind of
end the series.
Yeah, in the series.
If it's Resistance, who do you think is going to develop it, though?
Ooh.
You think Insomniac?
Insomniac. Why not? I mean, right now they're in the bed. I mean, they're gonna. You know how much money they're gonna make on Spider-Man?
Oh God, don't tell them.
Sony chose them to make that game, so Sony has plenty of work for them. They can say, "Hey, look, we have all these IPs. We want you to do this. We want you to do that." I mean, I don't know.
Hey, Jaydub, Sam said we'll both be at E3. Loser buys the other a beer.
Perfect. Sounds good, man. See you there. Shake hands.
Hey, we're staying at the same place, so.
Yep.
Where my beer at, Kratos? Oh, God, I gotta go.
Yep. Beer on me.
Round on Kratos. Boy, I need more beer.
Yeah, man.
Beer.
Bro, I still can't believe. I don't know where you were, man, but you missed it. We had one hell of a time.
Oh, you're talking about when you went to Ruth Chris or whatever?
Yeah.
And hang out with Shuhei?
Yep. Hey, I tried to text you, man. I tried to call you.
No, man, it's all good. I was busy doing something. I don't know. Where you at, bro? I don't know. I'm over somewhere.
Where the hell are you? We're here with Shu. We're ordering
waiting
food.
To play Heavy Rain. This guy won't let me in.
he's still standing in line.
It's been 10 years now.
Yeah. Question. What if Blue Point is doing Resistance or Killzone remaster?
See, I don't think that's big enough.
Yeah, I don't want Blue Point doing those. I want the original creators to do those.
Like when Blue Point comes out, and this is just me wishful thinking, like pipe dream. Like if I were to have like a get hype moment, it would be Blue Point coming out, being like, "Hey, it's not an exclusive, but this is the largest thing we've ever worked on. Here's the Mass Effect trilogy."
Yeah.
When people say, but I mean, at the same time, that well is so poisoned because of Andromeda. But like when Blue Point said that this is the largest thing we've ever worked on, like that's where my mind went.
Oh, the largest project.
Yeah, it's not so much the largest game, but the largest project.
Here's the thing: it's going to water it down, right? Because you already have the Mass Effect trilogy on the Xbox back compat, and you see guys all the time yelling and screaming about that. So, I don't think they're gonna be too happy or jump on it. And we just had Mass Effect Andromeda. I don't know, man. I would rather see them to do redo Dead Space before Mass Effect.
Yeah,
or Mass Effect.
I don't know. That's one of my like. That Blue Point and Supermassive are like the two studios that I kind of wish I had like my finger on the pulse of.
Do you think they'll announce their new remastered E3?
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Listen, I'm still hoping and praying for SOCOM. It just makes sense. Like Blue Point is known for redoing old games, right? So we know it's going to be an old game. It's not going to be something brand new.
What about Siphon Filter?
Hey man,
that's probably more plausible than SOCOM, but
Ben Studios hiring for another project, so
saw that.
Yeah, saw that too.
People are like, no. Then they after all those leaks happened, they surprisingly changed their job listings.
Yeah. Hey, don't you think? I mean, that's awesome, right? Like these guys are hiring. They're making more games for the future, and I don't know. I mean, E3 is almost here, right? We know some of the stuff that we're going to see. What's going to happen at PSX?
Yeah.
I don't know. Spider-Man will be out, so who knows?
Yeah.
One less game to talk about.
Yeah, but the
first hints of PS5. Hey guys.
I think we'll see Housemarque's new game.
Oh, that multiplayer game.
Storm Chasers, Stormdivers. I think we'll see Stormdivers.
Days Gone.
More VR. Days Gone. The last wave of Days Gone stuff.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably see Wild at PSX. I'm gonna guess that. I know we haven't seen anything from Wild in what?
It could be at E3 though. It could be at E3.
Will we finally
know
see
he's still
Deep
working on
Down?
Yeah, Deep Down.
Deep Down PS5 launch title.
I still can't believe that it's actually still in development though.
Is it
That's
though?
what they said.
Yeah, there is. They renewed
they said like
trademark.
This was a while ago, like last year, or even maybe 2016. But yeah, they said it's still in development.
Yeah,
Huh.
I can see that being a next gen game.
Yeah.
And let's be fair, guys. Sometimes these guys have great ideas, but then they realize the limitation of the hardware at that time.
Because Deep Down looked pretty freaking crazy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Let's face it. That thing was running on a really high end PC at the time.
Oh yeah, it looked better than Bloodborne for sure.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
definitely.
Like, it looked like one of the best games I've
with the dragon that had the fire. Yeah, Come on, that's definitely a next gen game. That's not anything that
I'm holding out. And again, I know I've said this a few times, and y'all have corrected me. I think I'm in the minority here, and that I would love to see Ready at Dawn's new project be a sequel to The Order.
Yes.
Because
I would like that.
I think the name's kind of tarnished to an extent because people paid $60 for the game. And to me, when I first played it, I got it like on a flash sale for like $6 or $8, right? And I went through it, played it, platinumed it, and I was like, wow, that would have been a great pack-in game.
Right.
Like that was a great tech demo. Like that to me, I described it in my like little review about it. I had said that it's like if Avatar and Shenmue had a baby. And that it's like when you play it, you're like, someone's gonna do all of this so much better.
Yeah.
But Ready of Dawn though, aren't they? I thought they're doing other stuff these days, aren't they? Like
they just shut down Deformers.
Yeah. Deformers shuts down in August, so
yeah, like they're not even working with Sony anymore.
But they can. I mean, just the same as Remedy's not working with Microsoft anymore.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, P7 should be cool.
I don't know. I still think the Order 1887 or whatever. And again, it goes back to what I said earlier. When you make a game, right, it didn't set the world on fire, so you try again. Now they know what the gamers want out of it and stuff like that. And
it can be longer or cheaper.
I listen, I paid $60 for the game, and I think I got $60 worth of quality out of it. I get what the developer was going for, right? They was going for the cinematic story. That's why you had the black bars on the top. This is why you kind of narrated your path. It's still to this day, it's one of the most beautiful games I've ever played.
It is gorgeous on the OLED Vita.
Yes, it's it's beautiful on any OLED. But I can't see how they could have did something. They can fix it, right? They can fix it. It's not a lost cause. They just need to do this. They need to do that, and a couple of other things, and then they would have a good hit on their hands.
But okay, so if you're the dude put in charge of the Order 2, do you go like Order 1888 or 1892, or do you just go full bore, just drape it in neon, and you make the Order 1986?
That'd be crazy. Welcome to the 80s, bro.
Track.
No, I wouldn't do that. I would go on with a continuation like 1887. It has to be part of that British type steampunk, time frame, and they just have to take it to the next level. And I think looking at people like, let's say the Killzone series, right? It wasn't. I think most people knock that series because of the storytelling, the characters. They just didn't grab you. You really didn't care about them. But the mechanics, the gameplay, and the graphics was solid, and it was there. But so what did Guerrilla Games do? They went out and they got some movie actors. They got some movie writers. They got a bunch of stuff where they knew that they were lacking, and they filled that void, and they came up with Horizon Zero Dawn. So they've learned of how to fix the mistakes of the past. Now, if they can take that and apply that to Killzone again, where they lacked the first time, I think they can come out with a masterpiece. And I think Ready at Dawn can do the same exact thing. Just you have to learn from that first one. How did it fail? You know,
that was their first big console game, was it not?
Yes, it was. I think the rest of the stuff was.
They made the God of War PSP titles that were pretty damn good.
It was all the PSP title.
Okay. And I'm not gonna lie, for their first game, I think that was fucking pretty awesome. You had the graphical showcase game for your first thing. You know, obviously it was more curated, and the game wasn't too long. You know, it wasn't. You know, people knocked it for being 6 to 7 hours. Depends on how you play it, but again, I didn't feel like I was robbed. I thought, you know,
it was a solid foundation for future.
Yeah, that's how I felt. Like I didn't feel shorted because I only paid $6 for it or whatever. But it was one of those when I finished it, I'm like, I could see where if I paid 60 for this, I'd be kind of upset. Yeah. But it's just however anyone values their money. But I think like there's good bones there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just gotta take what they laid out and properly put it into the puzzles, the pieces together.
Right.
Okay, this time 90% less cutscenes.
Yeah.
Like the electricity gun, I loved using that. But how often did you use it?
Well, that was the thing is like there were so many cool weapons. There was that I can't remember the one, but you shot like the powder and then you shot like an igniter.
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
But you only got to use the gun like twice.
Yeah.
It's cool they did stuff like that, and it's like, oh well, that's the only time you get to use it. Oh man.
But you can't lie, man. Those weapon effects were beautiful.
Oh my god, yeah.
Jeez, man. And that game got some awards too.
There you go. Thank you, Tim. Yeah. The thermite rifle.
Yeah, the thermite.
That was it.
Yeah.
Sam saving us over there. Thank you, Sam.
Do you guys think with that particular game, do you think it's because of the users, like the gamers?
I think
we've been so curated over the last generation about having this big open world thing that we really kind of shun away from kind of being in a corridor led down a path.
I don't think that's it, because prior to Uncharted 4, the Uncharted series was, basically walk straight the game. Like if we're just dumbing it down, but it's a thing with the Order where I don't know if maybe it just came out too early in the console generation, because when console generations come out, everybody's kind of like expecting to wake up one day and there'd be flying cars, True. Everybody wants to know like what's next, what's the next step. And I remember in 98 when I played Metal Gear Solid for the first time, and I was like, what is modern gaming? I don't understand.
Oh my god.
And you've got to like adapt. And I think Ready at Dawn rolled out this thing and everyone's expecting this 12, 14, 16, 18-hour crusade. Yeah. And Ready at Dawn never really got ahead of the message. Like, guys, it's 6 hours. It's a movie. Like, did you ever play Sewer Shark on the CD? It's kind of like,
yeah.
But like, we had to adapt to that, because now you get games like Hellblade that are 8 or 9 hours. You get stuff like even on the indie circuit, like Crossing Souls, that's 8 or 9 hours. You're starting to see success within these shorter games, or even going to a phone game with Florence that is a phenomenal game this year. That's 45 minutes. And it's just as we adapt to things. I think now if someone went back and were like, hey, we're going to bring out the Order, I think if you like a revisionist history, I think people will frown on the Order a lot less.
Exactly. Well, guys, I'd love to finish the show, but I got to go and grab something to eat, and I will see you guys later.
See you, dude. Thanks for stopping by, man.
No problem, man.
Take
Talk
care,
to you
man.
guys later. Peace.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up here in a few minutes. Things went a little bit longer than I expected tonight, but damn, we started talking and the ball starts rolling.
I apologize.
No, man. Look,
we covered quite a bit.
I do an hour show by myself every week. This is very new to me.
You used to say, well, hello, Alex. How are you doing? I'm doing great, Alex. Thank you for asking.
It gets very hot in this room. I'm just like, I'm going crazy.
I'll do my own little mini broadcast sometimes if there's a big news that day.
Yeah.
And it is kind of weird just talking to yourself and
that was the
hoping
thing.
that somebody else on the other end's listening.
Yeah, you just kind of got to hope, and then you just obsess over the stats on your podcatcher service. That's just like, you've gotten 8 listens. It's like, what about 9? Where's 9?
Where's 9 at, damn it? But no, one last prediction I wanted to throw out there. I think we'll finally see the Resident Evil 2 remake.
I hope so.
I don't know if it'll be a long
Well, they've been
preview,
teasing
but
that
we'll
for
see
a while.
Yeah.
Like they've been teasing that on Twitter, right? With
I know, like the announcement was we do it. Was that what the shirt said? We do it,
yeah.
or something like that. Something very broken English.
Well, I guess
we do it.
Capcom said in their financial reports that they're going to have 2 major AAA titles that are going to release between now and their next fiscal, which I guess is probably March 31st next year, right?
So Devil May Cry and question marks.
Yeah, Devil May Cry 5 and Resident Evil Remake 2 are the 2 that people are thinking about. But do you guys actually think that Devil May Cry is going to be exclusive? That's that's been people have been talking about that for
like I could
months now.
I could see it. I could see that happening.
I think they have a pretty good relationship with Capcom, right? Like
Street Fighter. The other Devil May Cries have been on every system known to man now.
Yeah, well now, but I mean,
back in the day,
I think if Capcom has ever had a strained relationship with Sony, I think nothing solves problems than quite like money, and you see how much Monster Hunter made them just on the PS4 alone, digital and physical sales. And I think at that point they're like, oh wow, you guys, you have like the Happy Gilmore apologizing to Chubb scene going on.
Yeah,
you were right.
But are you saying that you're thinking that we're going to see Resident Evil at the press conference, or just that it's going to be announced by Capcom?
I think they'll finally show gameplay. Might not be much, but we'll finally see it. They'll finally.
So do you think there's going to be some kind of exclusivity in terms of like even if it's just like character skins or something? Because
skins.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like Sony usually doesn't have anything at their conference unless they have some kind of marketing deal with it, right?
Right,
so,
like a pre-order DLC kind of thing.
They had the Horizon DLC with Monster Hunter. That's why Monster Hunter was last year at E3.
Possibility. That'd be cool if they had the PS1 skins for the characters.
Yeah.
You pre-order and you get Resident Evil 0.
Yeah. There you go. Some people were saying that there was a rumor at one point that Resident Evil 2 Remake was going to combine 2 and 3 to make it one huge Resident Evil 2 game, so get the complete story. I'm like, that would take a long time, man. I don't know about that.
Yeah,
it's a lot of development.
That'd be a long game too.
2 games and sell 2 games versus putting it together.
Right.
I actually hope. I loved Resident Evil 7, so I kind of hope that.
Oh, I did too, man. It was.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. So I hope that they actually do the first person again. Like I hope. I don't know if it's going to be 8 or 9 or whatever, but I hope they don't abandon that.
No, me and my wife really enjoyed 7. Well, she enjoyed watching me scream like a little girl. But
now, have you played in PSVR?
Oh my God, yes. That's I got a video of me somewhere when Jack locks you in that room and the bullets start coming at you.
Oh man, yeah.
I was like, F you, man, F you.
That is for sure. That is like the game for PSVR, I think. You know what I mean? Like if there's one showcase title for PSVR, it's for sure that one.
It needs to be a pack-in. By now, it needs to be a freaking pack-in.
Yeah. That and Farpoint. I thought Farpoint was pretty good too. But especially if you play with the gun, right? The whatever they call it. That light gun that they have with it.
Oh, the aim controller?
Yeah, the aim controller. It's just like the accuracy was amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
But do you guys have one last prediction you want to throw out there before we close the show? Yeah, I know. We've talked about a whole bunch of goodness tonight.
Covered a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I'm happy because sometimes I'm like, I have a pre-show. I'm like, tonight we're talking about this, and this, and then we'll get on one subject the whole night, and that's all we talk about. Now I'm like, no, I want to talk about Death Stranding, or I want to talk about this big news. And
I got one. It's a pretty small prediction and a pretty predictable prediction. But
go ahead, Paul.
I think we're gonna finally get the release date for Medieval, right? Like they have to. They said it's gonna come out this year, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's if they don't announce it at E3, then when are they going to do that? It's probably going to be, I would say October makes the most sense because of the theme, but
early October, right?
Yeah,
released the same day as Red Dead Redemption 2. Oops.
True, I mean, it's kind of like how Mamma Mia came out alongside The Dark Knight. Not everybody's going to want to go see The Dark Knight, so your option's Mamma Mia,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new one's coming out soon.
right?
Mamma Mia 3,
Mamma
or-
Mia 2, Mamma Mia Harder. So
Is that what it's called?
You've got Mamma Mia with a Vengeance.
Yeah. Mamma Mia,
And
the
then
legend continues.
And you've got My Big Fat Greek Mamma Mia. And you've got two Mama to Mimamus. Mama Threma Mia Tokyo Drift.
Oh God!
One other thing that I will predict, I don't think we're going to see it at this
Oh.
E3, but I actually think that Agent is not dead. I'm still going to believe. I don't care. I don't care how long.
Paul.
Don't go there.
My sweet summer child.
I still think at some point, somewhere down the road,
dream on. Oh man,
Rockstar Games.
Paul, you know I love you, man.
It's just, what if?
Well,
Okay. I will lay down the prediction I already stated, and because I gotta have a new one, I just want to restate my real bold prediction. I honestly believe in is Dreams demo the night of release in August. Now I'm gonna come out here, and this is my wild not gonna happen prediction. This is my The Agent, and so Paul, I'm gonna credit this to you because you inspired it. Sony London, The Getaway.
Oh, bringing it back.
Oh,
ooh, that series had a pretty big fan following for a while, man. The PS2,
but the sequel was very not good.
Very not good.
And that's actually the official box quote.
This game is
that was the best review they could get. They just made not smaller.
Press X to Alex.
Right. No, so I think Sony London doesn't have a lot going on. They've got Blood and Truth on VR coming out.
Yeah.
So
which they were testing out. They were the press was playing that today.
So if I had to throw anything out there to be like, I don't know if these noodles are cooked. Do they stick to the wall? And all the noodles fall off the wall because they're not cooked. It is Sony London comes out with The Getaway.
Getaway kart racing, right?
That would be amazing, but.
Well, yeah, with NAC DLC.
How popular was the original game? I'm just like, would people react?
Pretty damn well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's a nice contingent on Twitter that's always asking for, I need a new getaway.
And the thing is I think stuff like The Getaway and Tenchu and Siphon Filter it's been so long that so many people have forgotten about it. It's kind of like just watching reruns of a show from the 60s where it's like, I've never seen it before.
I'm in that boat. Like, I honestly have not thought about The Getaway in a long time. And
that's why they'll bring it out at you.
I bought the first one about 2 months ago for $4 at a local pawn shop. So,
oh, nice.
I have been thinking about The Getaway.
I guess both the games were on PS2, right?
Yeah, correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I think there was one they were working on for the PS3, but they canceled it. And
it's PS3 or PSP, that right? Or maybe there was a PSP one.
There's a PS3 version. People were like, I can't believe they canceled it.
Oh wow!
Was it 8 days or was that a different game?
I don't know. Now I'm curious, Professor. I'm gonna pull this up because I think there may have been a Getaway for PSP, but I may be confusing that with like Driver.
Okay, 8 Days is an action adventure game which was being developed by Sony London Studio. So I don't know if it was a. Oh, it was a tech demo. My bad.
Okay.
The
Getaway video game. The Getaway 3. The Getaway 3 is a canceled third-party game. So let's see what the Getaway 3 was going to be. Not there.
What could have been?
The Getaway was to be the third installment of Sony's Getaway. Oh, what? Wikipedia. Don't send me to that website. I don't know what that was. Thecampaign.com. It was the third installment of Sony's Getaway series for the PS3 console. The title was reportedly canceled on June 4th, 2008, along with 8 Days.
So 8 Days was a separate project.
In October 2009, the games were reported as not being canceled, but, quote, on hold. A technical demo featuring Piccadilly Circus was demonstrated in May 2005 at E3, but this was not directly from the game. So let's see. Okay. Richard Bunn, a former developer, has noted the game was canceled shortly after Phil Harrison was replaced by Shuhei Yoshida at president of SCE Worldwide Studios.
Oh, wow.
Shuhei killed the Getaway series. Y'all heard it here first. Breaking news.
I still love you, Shu.
The PSP game I was thinking of was Gangs of London.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever that was.
I will have you know it's a PSP game.
Yeah. Well,
The Wikipedia page is one paragraph long.
It's amazing. Like
That tells you all you need to know.
Yes.
it's amazing how many IP Sony has too, right? Like stuff like this you totally even forget about.
Blasto, Jersey Devil,
Yeah.
Omega Boost.
Destruction Derby.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah.
Rival schools.
Jetmoto,
Jumping Jack
Kinetica.
Black.
Yeah. Hey, Jack Flash. Good game, man.
Oh,
Just
I
bring
love
back
that game.
Vigilante 8.
That wasn't Sony though, was it? I thought that was Activision.
It doesn't matter. Bring it back.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, don't yell at me, please.
And we still got Ace Combat VR supposed to come out, you know?
Yeah, whenever that happens.
Right. Give me an Armored Core VR game.
Yes. That's what From Software's working on, a PSVR title. People be like, what?
What's your stance? Like, what's your guys' stance on PSVR? I mean, at this point, it's selling well, but not amazing. Like, what are they at now? Is it 2 million or 3 million, somewhere around there?
I do not have, nor can I afford a PSVR.
Yeah.
So I can't speak to VR. Also, I think it'd be a terrible time for me to get one as I have a 3-month-old, and I'd feel like I was ignoring him.
Yeah, true. I'm just curious. Like, I don't know what I think. Like, this E3 for me is going to make or break whether or not Sony is all in on VR, right? Because last year was pretty good.
Yeah.
They had They had the Impatient. They had Moss. What else? The Bravo team and a few other stuff. But it doesn't.
Child.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't seem like they're like. It seems like it's like they're AA titles, right? They're not.
Yeah.
They're not going all in with a big AAA on VR. So I'm curious. I guess actually Wipeout VR is probably one of the bigger ones, but
That was free too. I mean, if you bought the game, of course, but freaking three upgrade.
Yeah, and it's actually like it's amazing in VR, right? So, but I just wonder, like, I wonder if they're gonna have like a 10, 15 minute.
You kind of feel
trailer.
like the whole industry's kind of softened their stance on VR.
Yeah, it's not really a buzzword anymore.
Right. So we'll see. I mean, we will always support it, man. Mr. PSVR, that dude.
I love that guy. Yeah, he's awesome.
Dreams in VR, and man, he has 88 reviews on the site now. Wait, hold on, 87. I have one PSVR review. I have one PSVR review, but one of them, damn it. Res Infinite, buy it, okay? I mean, that guy will talk to you all day about VR, so I need to get him on here tonight, but 4 people is enough. That's
Yeah, I know. I saw him asking to be on the show.
I know, I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Next show, we'll do it.
That could totally be a whole show by itself. Because I wonder, I mean, I love my VR, but even I wonder sometimes what Sony's, if they're looking to the future with it, or if they're kind of like, well, it's done pretty good, but
yeah. I mean, they sort of had a revision of the PSVR this last fall, right? Like it kind of just they didn't really add cords. Combine like a little bit less cords, and they had the HDR pass through in the box, right?
The box a little bit smaller,
but that was it. Nothing too big.
I'm interested. I'm definitely going to go check out the VR developers that have supported the site and given us free review codes. I'll definitely say, hey, thanks, brah. We appreciate it. I'll do my rounds. But we always believe in VR. Now, even though I do believe it and I do love it, I do kind of wonder what the next step is for Sony with it. PS5 will just be like you just hook up the headset straight to it and it's good to go, where you need an adapter.
My guess would be it's more of a streamlined.
Yeah.
I think honestly what they need for it to really catch on is just they have to get a cordless version of it somehow, right? Like I think
it's coming. I think
having the cord and just being tangled up and stuff like that, you know what I mean? It's just
But Paul, with all those cables, you can recreate a wig that models Robert Smith's hair, or Robert from The Cure.
Okay.
Yeah. Who doesn't want that?
I never thought about that. Okay. Maybe I'll try that.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of cords coming out of PSVR.
E3 is a little under a month away, so we'll be there.
Yeah.
We will see the state of PSVR.
Yeah, I will be watching from my tiny abode in Ohio. Probably moving.
Yeah. Alex, look at this. Oh my God, bro.
I'm gonna be like, oh, my Twitter DMs aren't keeping up.
Paul, hold my hand.
I got the confirmation today that I'm going to be at the conference. Woo! Not actually the final barcode email, but like an email from Sony saying we got you on our list, man. Don't worry, you're coming.
Well, if anyone watching now or later want to help me be a bit greater than a blip on Sony's radar, twitter.com/pressx to Alex and just follow me, because organically growing a Twitter following is a nightmare.
Yeah, I always found it's just at the beginning though. Like I found
once you start the ball starts rolling, people start.
Once
you're pretty cool.
I think like 1K was the threshold. I remember like the first 1,000 was like so painful to get. It was so hard.
It's a situation for me too, though, where like I started using Twitter in 2009, and then never really like futzed with it for much after that, and then just now, kind of like the last like couple years, really got like full bore into it. Now, not to say that it hasn't grown since starting the show, but at the same time, though, it's maddening.
Yeah.
So when I first started my Twitter, I was more about being a toxic fanboy.
Oh yeah.
I think everybody.
Seriously,
look at this game, Quantum Brew.
I gotta see that. Now I'm gonna check your timeline.
Here's all the different ways you can make a penis using numbers and parentheses. Like, well, no.
I was like, just slamming Xbox all the time. Now, why would you buy an Xbox when you got a PS4? But then I realized, what am I doing? I want to talk to gamers about PlayStation and the greatness. I don't want to go out there and slam Xbox because they've had a couple bad years. That I stepped back and said, hey man, I think I could do something with this and I could make an outlet for myself. But being toxic is definitely not the answer.
No.
Yeah,
just keep at it, man. That's what I say.
We're all in it together.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we all love games. We're all on the same team.
Like I was talking to somebody on Twitter today, and I was just saying, like, it's like if you can bash Xbox all you want, but the thing is that if you think about what happened last gen, one of the main reasons why, at least in my opinion, why Sony has got so great in the last 10 years is because of that Xbox threat. Like last gen, for the first 3 years, Xbox was crushing Sony. And what did Sony do? They doubled down on their first party. They had all these games for PS2 that were cartoony, like Jak and Daxter, and you had Ratchet and Clank and Sly Cooper. But they created all these like really like super photorealistic games that came out at the end of the latter half of the PS3 era, and it's just continued into this, right? And I think a lot of that reason it was the threat of Xbox. So I mean, the competition's good, and I'm all for it. I don't want any of these consoles to fizzle out. You know what I mean? I think it's worse for everybody when that happens.
So people always say now Sony's too cocky. I'm like, well.
You want to see Sony being too cocky? Look at the cell processing commercials with the weird baby doll that cries the stigmata tears.
Yeah, I don't think they're cocky. I think they're kind of coasting, to be honest. Like a little bit, but they're not cocky, I don't think.
No.
They're getting ready for that. They get ready for that next gen. They're like
like that's why they already told us what games they're going to be showing at this year's E3. Like the thing is, like at this year's E3, I don't think Sony even cares about having a traditional conference where everything is a big surprise. They know that they're 80 million. Their Xbox is what, 30 million or something like that, right? So they're 2.5 times their next competition. They're planning on getting another 15 million this year, right? Like it's just they know that they're well on top, and they don't need to do what they did back in say 2015 when they had just nonstop surprises.
They'll save that for 2019, right?
I hope so. Yeah. Well, I mean, all their studios are releasing all their games, so they have to. Yeah. Right? Yeah, 2019 for sure. Like that's everything's going to be out by next E3, pretty much, except for The Last of Us and maybe Death Stranding. Yeah. So next year E3 has to be almost entirely new stuff.
We demand new games, Sony, or else.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I'm going to be so excited next year. I'm excited this year too.
This year, you're just like, oh well. The next year, it's even better. But all right, guys, we're gonna wrap the show up. We ran longer than I thought we would, which is okay because, like we said, we're gamers and we love talking games. But thank you, Alex. Thank you, Paul. I mean, I loved having you guys on tonight. This was
thank you, man.
Fantastic show.
Yeah, had a great time.
Yeah. So go ahead and you guys can give your little outros. Tell people where they can check you out at.
Paul, you go ahead.
For me, yeah. So you can check me out at the Best Buy blog. It's just blog.bestbuy.ca. You can check me out on Twitter. It's just at NextGenPlayer. And I guess the last little thing I'll say is I have a transition happening in about a month's time. So check out my Twitter. There's going to be some cool announcements in terms of the future of what I'm going to be doing in games media.
Ooh,
Yes.
Yes.
Hashtag gas.
Sultry teases. Yeah. I mean, dude, thank you so much for having me. I mean, I've only been going like 8 weeks strong with my show, and you were a supporter from like week 2.
Hell yeah, man.
It's much appreciated. But yeah, if y'all want to keep in touch with me, you can find me at twitter.com/pressx to Alex, or I got to subvert the YouTube short URL system by doing some subdomain redirects and what have yous. But if you go to bit.ly/pressxyt or youtube.pressxtoalex.com, that'll take you to my YouTube page where you can subscribe, help me get a short URL. And then if you want to stick around and watch any of my content on YouTube and just about every podcast service known to man, except for Spotify and SoundCloud right now, I have my weekly PlayStation show. That's the PlayStation Forecast. It's every Tuesday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But you can keep in touch and find out all of that by just following me on Twitter at twitter.com/pressxtoalex.
You have any big transitions coming up?
I don't.
Man.
Well, I mean, like moving.
Alex.
I'm moving.
Okay, that's a big transition.
And one day I'll finish God of War.
Yeah, same here, yeah.
But, other than that, we're it's all good, Right. Twitter.com/pressxtoalex.
By the
all
way,
right. Yeah.
If I can just add.
Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
I'm a new father.
Oh, I know. Congratulations.
Yeah. My baby's 3 weeks old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like
what are you doing here?
Yeah, I know.
Call it supporting
It's
wife.
okay. It's okay. The baby's asleep. Don't worry.
Oh, wow. Yeah, mine's asleep too. We got about another 4 hours, I think, before he wakes up.
But you want to know? So here's the coolest thing ever, and I cannot wait to tell my baby when he's old enough, when he can finally understand this. I swear on my life, my baby was born on God of War's release date. he's blessed, man. He's
boy.
April 20th. He was born on April 20th.
420, baby. Oh yeah.
I love it. My little Atreus.
Oh man, why don't you just cover? No, he's your little lab baby.
Lab baby.
Labo baby.
Labo too.
Oh yeah.
Your Labo baby.
I should have called him Atreus. That would have been perfect.
Oh, you should have called him Labo.
The Labo. Labo Hunter.
Everyone's gonna be like, what is Labo?
People won't know. People won't get it in a few years once Labo goes in.
8 years from now, your son Labo's gonna be like, yeah, this is my dad. He's gonna pull the curtain back on your picture window, and you're just gonna be as the cardboard robot punching the air.
I love you, Dad.
Yeah, maybe not.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you for everybody in the chat. Thanks for everybody that shared the show tonight. Your support is always appreciated. And like I always say, game on, brah. Game on, brah.